I'm so ready for this.
How you doing, Flip?
Good to
I'm
see you, buddy.
doing well. Ted, Drew, great to see y'all.
Hey,
Skull
Flip, how you
Bites.
doing?
Live, hit the button. Hey, everybody, it's time for GMG in the Raw Live. Grab your favorite beverage of choice and join us as we discuss the Minnesota Vikings. Feel free to add in your comments, and we'll talk about them on air. GMG in the Raw Live is about to start. Look at the countdown timer. Once it hits 0, we're starting with the best Vikings post-game show out there. Type in your questions, your comments. We'll talk about them. Hey everybody, it's time for GMG in the Raw Live. Grab your favorite beverage of choice and join us as we discuss the Minnesota Vikings. Feel free to add in your comments, and we'll talk about them on air. GMG in the Raw Live is about to start. Look at the countdown timer. Once it hits 0, we're starting with the best Vikings post-game show out there. Type in your questions, your comments. We'll talk about them. The game is done. The Vikings win. The Vikings win. And welcome and join us for Good Morning Gallahorn in the Raw. Baby. With us tonight, we have to my viewers, right? The one, the only, the base ripper, Drewster.
Oh, bring in the E. Bring in the E, the low E, baby.
The low
That
E.
sounds like some slow ride. Going to Soldier Field, get a win. Suck it, Nagy, you loser.
Yes, and also down there in the bottom corner, drinking his whiskey out on
It's
the
bourbon.
left coast, the wonderful, the fantastic Mr. Flip Muzzy.
Yo, after 7 years, we finally saw the Cordarrelle Patterson offense, and it sucked ass. It's terrible.
And of course, last but not least, not in the slightest, we have the impressive and the one and only Mr. Ted. What is that? Glover!
Let's light this candle, boys. Let's talk about the unicorn we just saw. The Vikings winning in Chicago.
And
Happens
unicorn
what?
it was.
Twice a decade, boys.
Man,
I didn't think anybody was going to win that game.
They were
How are
trying.
the Bears How are the Bears 5-4? Man, they are bad. Man.
that'd be 5-5 now, I believe, aren't they?
Yes.
5-5. Sorry.
Well, we're 4-5.
Yeah.
They go into the bye. They haven't had their bye yet. Well, Flip, start it off. What did you see? You did not get your favorite stat tonight, but was it his fault?
No, I think I did get my stat tonight because, I'm not one who's tied 100% to the numbers, as several people on the Climb in the Pocket network will tell you. That interception.
Nerds!
That one.
Nerds! I'm kidding.
Oh,
No,
no,
you're
you're not.
not.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
I am, yes, to an extent.
Skull Bikes. Hey, you know what? 2 really bad turnovers, a terrible special teams performance. We let in that special teams touchdown. Dalvin Cook got shut down. If you just state all those things, you tell me that before the game, there's no way that the Minnesota Vikings are winning in Soldier Field with all that crap going down. But 2 Vikings made the difference. 2.
Which
The
two?
first one, our boy, Justin Jefferson, the baller, man. We gotta love that kid. We can't ruin him. He's too good, and he wants it all. And he had a great night tonight that we're almost expecting it now. So good on him delivering in a big spot, his first Monday night game. And the second,
8 receptions for 135 yards.
yes, great game from JJ. And the second man who deserves credit for this win, the man who walked away with a game ball, the man who got his first Monday night victory, Kirk Cousins. Great game from Kirk Cousins. Everything that the coaches asked from him. I'm not going to blame that interception on him. That's not his fault. That's Adam Thielen. And outside of that, Kirk played near flawless in the limited times they asked him to throw the ball. I saw a stat. Kirk was 10 for 11 on third downs with 2 touchdown passes. Great game from Kirk Cousins. Everything you asked from a quarterback in this offensive system. He deserves that game ball. He deserves his first Monday night victory. And hey, 3 in a row, boys, all against divisional opponents. Way to go, Kirk. Way to go, JJ.
Boys, I think rarer than the unicorn of Chicago, of a Vikings win in Chicago, is we have positive flip back Positive Flip has returned. It warms my bitter heart.
We're not all positive, and Angel still lost its wing tonight, and Angel's just a nice Angel was flying, and Chad Beebe caught that pass, and he just crashed into the lake. That Angel, I feel for that Angel, but hey, we got to win. I'm getting more positive. I'll get there.
All right, I'll take it.
What else will you take, Ted?
I thought Flip covered the offense really well. I'll tell you two guys that, for me, that stood out on defense, maybe even three. Obviously, the one veteran, Harrison Smith, I thought he had a whale of a game. He made a couple big plays, had that interception right after the Vikings, I think, had turned it over, really helped stymie what felt like was Chicago momentum starting to build. And then I want to give a little hat tip to young players, DJ Wanham and Hercules Mataafa. I thought they both played pretty good games. The thing with the Vikings, their 1-5 start was they had no pass rush. Their pass defense coverage was horrid. And I think since that 1-5 start, you've seen little by little improvement, both from those young players like Wanham and Mataafa. Jeff Gladney made a couple of big plays tonight, and with a decimated secondary, I mean, okay, you can say, it was the Bears, and they're not a very good offense, but man, you gotta take your victories when you can get them. And the Vikings, there was a stat. It was early in the fourth quarter. I think at one point the Bears had no first downs and 3 yards of total offense or something ridiculous like that well into the second half. And I don't care who you are and who you're playing in the NFL. That's just flat out impressive. So, yeah, credit to Kirk and J.J. Jefferson and Adam Thielen with his 2 touchdowns. But man, this defense has really made some pretty remarkable improvements from the first 5 or 6 games of the year.
Without a doubt. I agree. Drew, what was your impressions?
Mostly on the defense. You guys both covered it pretty much. The offensive side was with everything pretty much what Flip said. There are certain plays. The Vikings are coming together as a defense, and I'm seeing it every week. Every week it's getting a little tighter. It's getting a little bit more. Their intensity's picking up. Their spirit is picking up. They're rallying to the football. They're rallying for each other. There is way different body language now than what I saw the opening day, week 1. There's guys slapping high fives and slapping each other and getting – it just looks like a completely different from the mindset of what I'm seeing on the defense. Everybody's hustling, trying to help each other out. There are certain plays in a game that I call momentum stoppers, and they don't seem like big plays at the time, but that third down pass, it was about a 20-yard seam up the middle, and Allen Robinson went up to get it, and Harrison Smith knocked it away. Now, that's a huge play in a football game because you're making a punt. You're not letting them keep the possession. You're making a punt. They're not keeping momentum. It is plays like that just – You're getting a team together when you're starting to have plays like that. It's really, and he had to go the extra effort to go over the top and come up with that. I just like the way the defense looks. There was so many times that after the Mack interception, after the long punt return they had in the fourth quarter, where the Vikings' backs were against the wall and they just stymied the Bears. A couple of them were like 3 and out. So, the defensive. You know what? Ngakwe's gone. We don't have Hunter. What the hell are we going to do on the defensive line? This defensive line is getting good. Right before our eyes,
really are.
Man.
Yeah.
Week after week, they're impressing me more and more.
Legit good.
Yeah, I like that.
I can't go that far yet.
They're getting better.
I like the alignment
I can't go that far yet.
They have the right defensive end, then they have the big gap, and then they have the other 3 the defensive linemen. I don't know what alignment that is. It's I haven't seen a lot of it, but it seems to throw the offensive line off when they're blocking, who's responsible for what. and the Vikings are using it. I thought Zimmer dialed up the blitzes at a perfect time tonight.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he called a really good game.
And I want to give a shout out. It looks like we got more people in the comments than we've ever had before. So I want to give a shout out to all the Vikings fans. Send me questions. I see you, Freddie Hall. I will get to Eric Wilson. I see all y'all. But I also wanted to say that, like you said, Drew, it's this defense. There's Unique was there week 1. He's not here now. Anthony Barr now injured. We had better cornerbacks in week 1 than we have now. And if you look at this game, the first half, the defensive front, the front four, did not generate any pressure by themselves. It was really the Mike Zimmer scheme generating those blitzes, getting Troy Dye and Nick Foles in space, getting Eric Wilson to the quarterback that got the job done. But the main difference with this Vikings defense is as the game went on, those front four guys did not quit. They got stuffed in the first half, but they kept on coming and they kept on working to get pressure against the Bears front. Now, yes, it's the Chicago Bears. We didn't play a good offense tonight, so I'm not going to give them too much credit. But that never quit attitude is not something this team had a month ago, and they have it now. So that's my point of optimism, is there's a different attitude, and you can see it regardless of the skill and regardless of the play-to-play execution. There's an attitude difference, and that's what you need if you're going to go, contend for the playoffs.
That's what stands out to me.
Whoa! Hold on. Did Mr. We can't even talk about playoffs because we're 1-5 just mention the P word? Because I believe he just mentioned the P word.
I said if.
No, we aren't supposed to talk about that until they get to 500. Period.
Thank you, Richard, for agreeing with me. Man, I love these commenters. They just love the flip, man.
There was a play, and I agree with the whole attitude is what stands out best to me. There was a play when the Bears threw a screen. I don't know who it was. Rashad Salam, Cedric Benson. I don't know who they had in at the time.
Rashad Salam.
Matt Forte.
Dude.
I don't know who it was, but he threw a pass out in the flat, and Gladney ran up and tackled him for a 3-yard loss. Now, here's what you see. Every Viking player on that defense ran over there and patted him on the head, but if you watch the replay in the background, if you look in the background of that play, when they gave you the end zone view of it, the whole sideline erupted. The coaches, players, we weren't seeing that shit the first month of the season.
That's true. Yeah, that's
everybody
true,
erupted on that play. That's the attitude that you got to have, and that's what I'm starting to see.
Mm-hmm. And the motor on Hercules Mataafa tonight was just something special.
That guy is on crank or something.
Hercules. But yo, I got to bring it up again because we got this Sean McVay or Andy Reid disciple who has decided to scheme his entire offense around Cordarrelle Patterson. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but they didn't have anybody else.
The guy's right. The guy just said it was Allen Robinson on the screen. So the guy that commented was right. It was Allen Robinson. Sorry. It wasn't the back. It wasn't
going back.
Salam.
It wasn't Rashad Salam. Going back to flip though, you're right. I mean, your offense is Cordarrelle Patterson. I saw some stuff in the first half that made me wish the Vikings had done some stuff with Patterson that the Bears were doing. I thought he was getting some decent yardage, and I don't know what else they could have done because Tariq Cohen's hurt. Their other running backs hurt. Allen Robinson's your only legit wide receiver threat. I don't know that the other guy. I don't know.
The Bears stopped what was working. They had one drive where they were throwing slants and quick out, and they were in 3-step drop. And then they stopped doing it. They just went away from it. And I'm going, it was funny. It was like, oh, go away from what's working. Fine by me.
They were copying.
It was never going to work. I mean, I'll give them credit. They did They targeted Allen Robinson at a high rate. That was basically their offense. But hey, I mean, we can't talk because they still got a better record than us. So they still got more wins
so far.
Yeah,
and
when you have no running back
until Hakeem Hicks went out, that game was in question.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dave. That's a very good point. When Hakeem Hicks went out, all of a sudden the Vikings could start running the ball between the tackles, which they had not done for 2.5, 3 quarters.
Right.
And that kind of opened up their base running plays, because I don't know if you guys noticed. One of the commenters asked earlier, why didn't they run to the edge? Why did they just keep running up the middle? The few times the Vikings tried to run to the edge, they got stuffed. Dalvin Cook got stuffed. The Bears
were getting strung out.
The Bears pursue laterally, I think, as well as any football team in the NFL, as any defense in the NFL.
Yeah.
And what Dalvin Cook could do against lesser teams, like the defensive wise, like the Packers or whoever, where he could turn the corner and get 8, 10, 15 yards, was getting strung out, and he was getting maybe a yard or two. That wasn't doing anything. So I kind of agree with staying between the tackles, which wasn't very successful, but at least it was getting 2 or 3 yards and keeping the Vikings second and third downs more reasonable than second 11, second 10, or whatever. But when Hicks went out, now all of a sudden Cook's getting 4 or 5 yards, and that was a huge difference in the game.
Mm-hmm. Viking Jerome said you got to give the O-line their due. This was the toughest test for the Vikings O-line all season. And
but they didn't perform.
They weren't perfect. Yeah, but they weren't that bad. Dalvin did get over 100 yards, 96 on the ground.
On like 30 carries. Come on, man.
Yeah, I was going to say, man.
30 carries.
We gotta adjust our eyes, because the last 2 weeks against Green Bay and against Detroit, I think Vikings fans have become used to seeing our offense go off, and there's all this talk about how the Vikings have a top 10 offense and it's all going to come together. Look, we played a real defense tonight. And when you're playing a real defense, you can't do everything that you want to do. So you know what that means? It means your offensive line is going to get bullied, and Dalvin Cook is going to be held to 3.2 yards per carry like he was in this game. It means that coverage is going to be tighter. So Adam Thielen, you bobble a pass, boom, that's an interception against a good defense. That's not just an incomplete pass. Again, Thielen in the end zone. You missed that throw by 2 inches. That's the difference between an incomplete pass and a touchdown. So we played a good defense tonight, and we're going to play more good defenses here in the future. So don't expect this whole Vikings offense can beat anybody. No, there's room for improvement on that side of the ball too.
I sure wouldn't mind having that Roquan Smith guy on my team. Damn it. Like him.
He's a football player, ain't he, boys?
He needs to be a Viking.
I'll take a lot of them Bears defenses except for that Buster Skrine, y'all. I don't know about that Buster guy. Buster got busted.
Is he as bad as Buster Rhymes?
You know who was pursuing everybody was that number 92. He was all over the place, dude.
Oh yeah, Hunter Hillenmeyer.
The Vikings couldn't account for him, but the Vikings got Hunter Hillenmeyer. The Vikings went into Soldier Field and they won a game. I didn't expect that, and I said after we won in Lambeau, I said, well, that's one game. I know we're gonna beat the Lions because they suck. Talk to me if we can go into Soldier Field and get a win. And granted, their offense was piss poor. The Bears, they didn't have, it was pretty bad. But like Flip said, they have a good defense. They do have a good defense.
They got a very good defense.
And the Vikings found a way to get it done. They didn't blow the game. They didn't blow the game.
Zimmer and beat Nagy.
Yeah, and that is why I'm giving Kirk Cousins so much credit for this game. Honestly, because I recognize the fact that we went against a great defense and he delivered. And those white jerseys, man, I'm feeling the clean
Gotta
whites.
Keep those things.
The white on white?
Keep the whites.
The last time they wore that was 2015.
Gotta keep those.
Let's go. Those. Thank you, Mr. Gates, with the Hunter Hillenmeyer, the rep. I got that pull.
That was a deep pull.
Dude, when they came out in the all-white jerseys, I was expecting to see Terry LeCount line up at wide receiver. I was getting happy about it.
With Leo Lewis in the slot.
Right. Exactly right.
So,
Alfred Anderson carrying the rock.
Okay, so we've talked about the good. There were some things. There are some things that trouble me moving forward, and during the Monday night broadcast, they talked about the Vikings' next 3 opponents, which are
Dallas,
Jacksonville, and some other schlub team.
Yeah, the Carolina.
Just pull straight. Just do a shot right out of the bottle,
Yeah.
Flip.
Let's see
do a shot right out of the bottle. There we go.
Yeah.
So
Peer pressure, hell of a drug.
My thing is the Vikings are crawling out of this hole, but there are some things when we get to after these next 3 games which are troubling, because let me ask you guys this question. Have you ever when was the last time you remember a Vikings special teams unit other than Dan Bailey, who's had a pretty good season? When do you remember a special teams unit being collectively this bad? Because they've had punts blocked, they can't cover kicks or punts. It's something that is becoming an issue, and this is what happens. I'm telling you, this is what happens when you put a lieutenant in a key position of anything, and that's the deal with Austin Cutting, Lieutenant, United States Air Force Reserve.
Yes,
Lieutenant. What happens when you put a lieutenant in charge of things? Everything goes to hell. That's what happens.
I will give you. I will take Austin Cutting as long as I don't have to deal with KJ Osborne, because I don't know.
Oh, God.
What was it?
Oh,
The man tried to do some
almost
crossover
muffed
dribble
that
in the middle of a
punt.
punt return.
Jeez. We can't find a better punt returner than that guy.
I almost pooped my pants when Osborne bobbled that punt return. I'm not even lying.
My heart stopped for a second.
Send him back to the U. Send him back. We don't need him.
He's a team captain. He's a former team captain in college.
Fuck. My kid's
put Dave Osborne back there. Jiminy.
I don't know how to actually answer your question, Ted. It's a problem, but it's one of those Vikings things where like it's gonna fuck us over, but you don't know when, so there's no point in caring about it. You just gotta tighten your asshole every time there's a special teams play, and it's just what we're gonna have to do for the next 3 months.
You got to care about it though, because I'm pulling up the schedule now. So the next 3 games. Oh, now my computer just froze up. Here we go.
We got Dallas with primetime purple.
To
Dallas,
make the playoffs,
Carolina, and Jacksonville, and then they finish up at Tampa, the Bears at home, at New Orleans, and at Detroit.
Okay,
we
got Dallas is horrible. We have Carolina, where Teddy may be hurting and may not play because he doinked his knee this weekend. We have Jacksonville.
Doesn't matter. We're gonna beat them with or without Teddy.
If they're saying 3 weeks on Breeze, but 3 weeks for 5 broken ribs and a punctured lung seems awful fast.
No, he won't play.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
Christmas
we might
is
have
what, 5 weeks away?
We might see Jameis. We might see famous Jameis on Christmas Day.
Who's Dallas's quarterback? Steve Pallure? Who's quarterback in Dallas?
Doing this.
Clint Longley, baby.
I'm not doing this.
We've got to beat Dallas next week and get to 500. Then we'll do this.
This is the 4th week in a row we're saying that. Like, come on. The Vikings, I'm done with this tightrope act. I'm done with it. When is the last time
you're not going to have
Vikings?
Okay. All right, look, Mr. Walinda, what are you not done with?
The Vikings have to win 100% of their winnable games.
You're right.
To make the playoffs.
Yes.
When is the last time we've seen Minnesota do that? When's the last time you've seen them win every game that they're expected to win?
2017 they went 7-1, which they're not going to do. No, I get it. It's just a fun exercise. But my thing, and this is kind of my point in a roundabout way. with special teams issues, and the other thing that really bugged me tonight was some of the play calls and coaching decisions the Vikings made. 3rd and 13, you throw a screen pass. How many times did they throw short of the sticks on like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8? And the thing that really irritated me the most, and it almost came back to bite the Vikings in the rear end, is at the end of the half they had 49 seconds left, and they had 2 timeouts, and they were at their own 25.
Give up.
When you're putting this much money into Kirk Cousins, Adam Thielen, and the rest of the offense, Dalvin Cook, I just cannot believe you put up the surrender cobra and did not at least try to get the Vikings offense in position to try and kick a field goal. Yet they decided to run the clock out, go in the locker room with an easy lead, and what happened? Cordarrelle Patterson took the opening second half kickoff, housed it, and now all of a sudden the Vikings are behind. Now, we talked about the Bears being a bad team and all that, and the Vikings were fortunate in many respects. They played well in many respects, but they were also fortunate. Against a better team, those mistakes, as they add up, end up to really putting that team behind the 8 ball in the fourth quarter, and I don't know if they pull that game out and they win it. And that was really frustrating to see. And look, I'm not trying to rain on this parade of a win in Chicago, which is a really rare thing for this team. But it's troubling that these same things, these throwing short of the first down marker on 3rd and long, and these surrender plays that they just decide to give up and punt and not even try and make a first down. It just aggravates me and it frustrates me. And at some point, it's really going to bite this team in the rear end.
Drew, what are your thoughts on that?
I hate the give-up play. And I also feel if you're on the field and you have a chance to get points, I don't care if there's 20 seconds, 8 seconds, you try to do something with it. But a lot of those, when it's third down, a lot of those plays where we play short of the sticks, Cousins goes back and isn't even looking at the first down guy. He's looking at that fucking check down the whole time.
He automatically checks down, and it bugs me.
And that's terrible. You can't do. You got to try to get. You got to try to get the drive.
Here's my issue.
I don't like the surrender plays, Flip. I don't like giving up in a football game on any.
We don't have that gear. We don't have that gear to this offense. We're not driving a Ferrari. I hate to break it to y'all. We can. This is Gary Kubiak and Mike Zimmer's mentality. Is they tried opening up early in the season, and that car crashed. Kirk Cousins is throwing interceptions. They're getting sacked. There's safeties. There's fumbles. All this crap is happening when we try to open up the offense all the way. And so now we know that we don't have that gear.
I'm not asking him to open it up. I'm saying, and to piggyback off what Ted said, a few times during the game, you're 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. You got to be able to make those plays against better teams. You can't just give up.
Oh no, I agree. Against better teams, it's going to be a problem. But let's all be honest. They don't. 49 seconds left in the half. You're asking Kirk Cousins in this offense to drive down the field with 2 timeouts and get 3 points.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Flip. Okay, Flip, you said
attempt it.
It's not happening. It's not happening. Yes, it's worth trying, but the end result is probably an interception and not a field goal.
I want to go back to what you said, Flip, because you said the Vikings offense were not driving a Ferrari. My issue with that whole thing is we were told that this was a Ferrari offense. I'm not lying. I'm not trying to play games here.
No,
we were
I agree.
told by signing Kirk Cousins and Adam Thielen, and then extending Diggs, and extending Thielen, extending Diggs, and then drafting Jefferson after they traded Diggs, that this, and Dalvin Cook, re-signing him, that this was an elite Ferrari type offense that should be able to score a lot of points. And now that it's not, why are you spending all this money? Why are you spending all this money on guys?
But we're in season, so the question is, if you you don't have a Ferrari, are you going to keep on driving it, pretend that you have a Ferrari, or are you going to
go to driving school? Yes, take driver's ed, damn it.
Drive the F-150 that you know you have.
Let me throw this out there. There was a couple times when we had some penalties I think twice I can remember, maybe if there's not more. We had a holding call. I think it was on Rudy or something, put us in 2nd and 20, and we hit Jefferson to get us a first down. And then later we had that play where Rudy got like 100 yards more than he's ever gotten on one catch when he ran that one down inside the 20. But that was on second.
Yeah.
But both my point is both those plays were on 2nd and long. And let's face it, when the Vikings are 2nd and 20, how much faith do you got that they're going to pick up the sticks on that? None, because they usually don't.
So my point is they have shown the ability to do that, to pick up a 2nd and long when they get
don't give
behind
up,
the power curve like that. So don't give up, exactly. And they give up. And
I disagree. You ask Kirk Cousins to air it out every game. I'm sorry.
No.
There's going to be interceptions.
We're talking about isolated situations, not running around like Mahomes to Tyreek Hill. We're talking about isolated 3rd and 9 to throw a 3-yard pass to Ham with no blocking where he's not going to have no chance of making it. Why fucking even try that? Try to get the first down. Try. I'm not asking Kirk Cousins to run around and throw it 50 times. I'm talking about 3rd and 9, 3rd and 13. So one of these days you're going to play somebody and you're going to need to have that first down. You can't just fucking give up. And that's
why we're not saying the P word anymore, because they haven't shown that gear.
That's right.
Get the gear.
I want it. Can I pause the podcast? No,
Sure.
I can't pause it. We're live. David, my man Freddie Hall, he keeps on coming at me. Very good point. We have to talk about the Adam Thielen touchdown, first touchdown of the game. Yes. One of the most ridiculous plays I've ever seen. And I don't think you see it until you watch it in slow motion. The dude, left arm only, not only does he catch it with one-handed, but if you see it, he catches the ball and then he flips it. He adjusts it to make sure that he maintains control as he hits the ground. Like, dude, you can fumble the ball once a game if you're making a play like that. That's a beautiful touchdown to get things started. I love that play. Thank you, Freddie. Great touchdown catch.
Yeah, but on the next drive, or the drive there afterwards, it was an
pretty
early
nice pass also.
1st and 10, and they do a play action, fake to Dalvin, go deep to Justin Jefferson, and your quarterback overthrows him by about 3 yards.
There we go. There you go.
Here we go. The Dave Stefano. Stefano Vikings lose. The Dave Stefano Vikings are going to lose, son.
That shit irritates me to no end.
You know what? If Teddy makes that overthrow, though, whole different story. Different ball of wax.
Why did KJ Osborne put the ball between his legs? Why?
I was shocked when I saw that. Dude. Cousins played good tonight. He makes these. He doesn't really. When the guy's running in at full speed, he hurries and throws it away. I keep waiting for him to move to the side and buy himself 4 more seconds, and I don't understand why. Because he's not like that. I know he's not like that. That's the type of quarterback he is. But all he has to do is shuttle to the left like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson buys time by letting guys run past him all the time, and Kirk decides just to panic and throw it away or whatever.
So, Drew, I got a question for you, and I got a question for the commenters and people watching as well. When there's a Vikings game on Monday night, do you still watch the football on Sunday, or are you just taking the day off and are you only watching the Vikings?
Oh, football all the time.
You're watching all the games.
Friday night, Thursday night, Saturday college, Sunday NFL, Monday night, Thursday night, Friday. I watch high school football in the middle of the night. I don't give a shit.
If you're watching all the games, in the NFL, quarterback mobility is the norm now. It just every team has these mobile quarterbacks that they don't have just a plan A. They have a plan B, and they have a plan C.
Most of them do.
Most of them. Definitely not the Bears, let me tell you. But that's just the one thing that I wish Kirk was a little bit better at, man.
Right.
I mentioned tonight, Kirk Cousins, sometimes he looks like he's Forrest Gump with the leg braces on when he's running.
Yes, you did. And
I'm not wrong. I don't care who you are. That is a perfect analogy sometimes. Although he made one pretty good he made one pretty good play with his legs today, which was negated by a penalty.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he just kind of is kind of dote-to-do back there, and
Dude,
all right, I'm just gonna fall down and take the sack.
Sometimes when that guy moves out of the pocket, he looks like a newborn horse. You know what a newborn horse is? You know what I'm talking about? They don't really walk.
All right. Well, y'all just put down two better analogies than I had. So
fucking newborn horse. I know you've seen it. They're like,
I'm done. Somebody just talk. I'll be back in a minute.
3 in a row, baby. 3 and 1 in the NFC North. Let's go. Minnesota Vikings.
I'm gonna start calling him the newborn pony, baby.
Yeah, man. We that.
Oh my God.
Call us the Minnesota Colts because we got Kirk Cousins.
Go YouTube it. A horse being born. The fucker staggers.
Oh God. Kirk the giraffe. Kirk the baby giraffe.
1-9 on Monday Night Football. I don't know what. Call him a giraffe if you want. He's 1-9.
Yeah, he won. He had a good game tonight. He had almost 300 yards passing, 25 of 36.
Just went to Green Bay and they went to Soldier Field in the last 3 games and they won both of them. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, it is. I mean, honest to God, it is. It's been, when the Vikings, when they started 1-5, I did not see them.
No, it's bad. Rolling
off 3 straight wins and getting to within a game of 500. I just, they were completely lost on defense. Their offense was good, but not good enough to overcome the bad defensive play. And the body language that you saw on the sidelines between the head coach, the quarterback, and a lot of the key leaders on that team just seemed like they were ready to check out. Whatever they did, I don't know what it was. I don't know. Whatever it was they did has worked for 3 games. We'll see if they can continue and keep it up. But it's worked.
And it's 3 division games.
Yeah.
If there's any games you want to win the most, it's division games, because that'll help affect the standings the most.
Body language is important. To be honest, the Packers game is the only game that surprises me. I still got the same stance. I'm not gonna lie. Mike Zimmer, you finish 8-8 or you get out of my state. I still have that line. So that means you win these games. You win these winnable games. Or all I see now is proof that we have young talent.
Yeah, but you got to give it to Mike Zimmer. He's been coaching his ass off on the defense with guys he's literally pulled from the 7-Eleven. I was watching number 26 today make tackle after tackle after tackle after tackle, and I'm going, I know Antoine Winfield's retired. Who the heck is 26? That's Jones, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
And I'm like, wow, this kid's pretty good. At least the tackling.
Who is the best player on the defense tonight?
I would say Harrison Smith or
I'd say
DJ Wanham. Either Harrison Smith or DJ Wanham. That's just my
Those would be the two I would vote for.
Wilson had a good game. And I know
he did.
Kendricks was
How come Flip? How come you don't like Eric Wilson? I've never found out.
Flip, you're rolling your eyes. Who you got?
The dude tapped Nick Foles into it. Was the weakest sack I've ever seen. It was like, hey, I got a sack. Come on.
That's worse than a newborn horse right there. What about that play when we slapped Foles in the head and we didn't get a flag? I was shocked.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Denebo?
Can we talk about the lack of flags? Every game should have 4 penalties. I don't care. I don't care.
Yes.
Just ignore half of the flags that are called. The game is so much cleaner, so much more entertaining. That was a terrible game. If it was bogged down by 15 penalties, it would have been even worse.
Yep.
Y'all, I didn't even start drinking until halftime.
Who's your defensive guy? Who's your defensive player of the game, Flip? You asked us. Who's your guy?
Mike Zimmer. I don't think that anybody on the defensive side of the ball actually played that well. I think they just knew their role. I think Zimmer dialed up blitzes that anybody could execute, whether it was Eric Wilson or Anthony Barr. And I think they had an easy ass time against this the Bears offense doesn't tell you shit. I mean, they're going to have a much tougher time for every game. That was the easiest defensive matchup in this season.
You hate Eric Wilson as much as Dave loves Mike Zimmer.
He's had about 3 good games
on this show.
Or as much as Dave hates Kirk Cousins. Mike Zimmer has coached his ass off with next to nothing on the defense. And he knew when to keep 2 guys back in a high cover, both safeties, and when to blitz today.
I will say one thing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
If he wouldn't have called that timeout, Madison would have been in the end zone. There was no linebacker on that side when they called that fucking timeout, and that went, oh shit. They ran a crossbuck, like a misdirection crossbuck, and they gave it to Madison. Somebody on the sideline called a timeout, and there was nobody over there. Madison was going to run his ass all the way to the end zone on that play, and I'm going, no! Don't call the timeouts when we're going to do something good.
Why does Madison only get, 2 carries tonight? 4?
He had 2. He had 2.
Well,
2
because
4 yards.
Because he's like Leroy Horde, man. He gets the ball and runs 200 miles into the ass of the center.
But Dalvin's going to get hurt, bro. Dalvin's going to get hurt. He almost got hurt tonight when he took a pigskin to the balls, man. Just like let Madison take
Yes.
Pigskin to the onions, dude.
Whoa!
That hurt.
Why don't players wear cups anymore?
I don't know.
Because you can't run like Dalvin Cook runs if you got some jock strap down there.
Yeah,
but it prevents situations like we saw.
Yeah. You know,
probably because
future kids.
If you got a guy like Dalvin Cook, you're playing Dalvin Cook. That's the only thing I can think of. They don't want to give him any respites and bring. Madison comes in and runs an 8-yard gain. Everybody's saying, well, if that was Cook, he's probably getting 40 on that play. I don't know. See, as I watch these games with Madison, I'm real leery on that guy. Like in another month, what he's going to be. He's going to get beat to shit, man. He takes a lot of punishment. He does take Madison? A lot of punishment. No, Cook. He takes. Throughout the course of a game, I'm worried about what the hell's going to be going on in December with that guy.
If Madison does not start taking 10 to 12 carries a game, this is going to get bad. He has got to ease up the workload on Dalvin Cook. I've been saying that all year.
I would agree with that. Yep, I'd agree with that 100%.
But when you have a game situation like we had tonight, you can't ease up. You need Cook to win.
Yes,
to be
you
out there
can.
When it's 19 to 13 and you're trying to
No, when you have a defense that is trying to key on Dalvin Cook, the first thing you do is you put in Alex Madison and then you run them. You make them respect a different running back. That opens things up. You don't need to run Dalvin Cook into them 30 times to have the same effect to get Justin Jefferson open, to get Adam Thielen open. You can do that with a different running back and save wear and tear on your primary guy.
But that makes too much sense.
Well, it is what, they're going to run him into the ground, but he's the offense. He's the bread and butter. So they're going to run the bread and butter into the ground. And if Zimmer stops using him, then he's going to fucking be coaching Michigan next year.
So do you guys have faith in this offense without Dalvin Cook right now?
No.
I barely have that. Like, honestly, I hate, I hate to be that guy after a really cool win on Monday night in Chicago, but I don't have a lot of faith in the Vikings offense with Dalvin Cook when they're playing a good team, because I'm still, although the Vikings defense has been better, the only really quality offensive they played in this winning streak has been Green Bay, and Aaron Rodgers still had a pretty good day. It's just the Vikings offense really stepped up. I'm still kind of skeptical that this offense and defense can play really complementary football against a really good team together.
Yeah. It was an uninspiring win.
It was a win though. I mean, and in the NFL in this season, I mean, God, 2020 is just death by meteor, man. I mean, just take the win and enjoy the win, and we should. But there's just still some things that bother me going forward with this team, and that's it. I hope they can get to a point where they can offense and defense can play at their peak together at the same time against a good team. But until they do, I'm gonna reserve judgment.
Now, just to give you some ideas about this offense, tonight against a good defense, they had 385 total yards.
Did they really?
Yeah, 385, 286 passing.
That's good.
And the
Kirk
rest
and
was
JJ. Who's this Ryan guy trying to tell me that Wilson must have stolen my girlfriend in college? Like, okay, Ryan. First of all, Eric Wilson went to the University of Cincinnati. You think I went to you think I was a Bearcat? Get out of here.
And Flip at UT, Flip turned down Red McCombs' granddaughter for a date. Yeah. So I don't think anybody maxed Flip in college. Just saying.
T. Martin.
The Vikings defense tonight held the Bears to 149 total yards.
All right, that's
and
that's bad.
Vikings,
bad offense, bad versus defense. But
Vikings give up 413 yards a game, so that's a huge. And I don't want to say that's a huge, improvement. It is a huge improvement, but it's a lot of smoke and mirrors of what the Bears had on offense. Bears were terrible. They have no running.
In some ways, that's it. But the Bears, Vikings still made plays. Vikings defense still made plays when they needed to make plays, which they were not doing earlier in the year.
Right.
The Bears were coming into this game were 7th in pass defense in the NFL, giving up 218 yards a game, I believe. And the Vikings kind of exposed them on the outside. And I'm going to tell you this right now. There's a reason that I went out and I poured a lot of money into Justin Jefferson's rookie stuff, for his cards and everything, because that guy is going to be a fucking highlight machine for years to come. That guy is the most polished looking rookie wide receiver I've seen in a long time. He's poised. He's fearless. He fights for yardage. He looks like he's been doing this 10 years. I am so impressed with that dude.
He plays like a 5 or 6 year vet. He really does.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing. I just love something about this team that keeps on bringing me back. They're extremely frustrating to watch, but when you see Dalvin Cook leading the pregame huddle, when you see them just jawing, like, fuck you, Akeem Hicks. Nobody gives a fuck about you. Dalvin Cook's
or Cordarrelle Patterson.
Game in, game out. You see Justin Jefferson fighting for every yard, tell him Eddie Jackson. It's not even Eddie Jackson anymore. It's some dude wearing his number. Like, get the fuck out of here. We're coming into your stadium and we're beating the fuck out of you because you're the Bears. You're wearing this ugly ass orange and you suck. Like,
you know what? Though,
I love that.
Flip. That's the culture change we need here. We need players like Justin Jefferson to change the mopey ass, bullshit, soft ass Minnesota Vikings. We need guys like that. That's how you win with guys like that.
We got all these, like, I call them don't fumble playmakers, where like they catch a ball and the only thing that comes across your mind is don't fumble. Like BC Johnson, or like every time BC catches a pass, you're like, don't fumble, and he's like running like this. Kyle Rudolph is turning into that right now, actually, where he's like, just don't fumble. I caught the ball.
But he got that first down.
We need playmakers who catch the ball and they're like, you know what? I might fumble, but I'm going to get these extra 15 yards because I'm trying to win the game. And after I get them, I'm going to point the first down. I'm going to tell you to fuck off because my team's winning this game. And I'm all about Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook.
The Vikings displayed an attitude, a really kind of pissed off in your face attitude against the Bears in Chicago, which they did not display earlier in the year. They just didn't. They're kind of getting a little bit of swagger. They're kind of getting their sea legs under them, and they're gaining confidence in themselves, which I don't think the coaching staff and I don't think the players had any of early in the season.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know that it's going to translate into anything, and I don't know that they're going to win 7 or 8 straight games, whatever. But it's refreshing to watch a team that gets pissed off and doesn't want to get pushed around like the team that we saw the first month and a half of the season.
Exactly. That's the type of team where you get a DJ Wanham. You look to the Tampa Bay game. He's gonna be going up against like a Donovan Smith or a Tristan Wirfs in a month. You need that guy to be pissed off. You need that guy to punch above his weight. You know.
Well, even for that last play action pass on that drive when it was a couple minutes left and Kirk went play action and hit Rudolph and he ran for like 20 yards, kind of sealed the game. Did you see Kirk Cousins' reaction after that? That's what you need. That Kirk shit plays off on everybody 100%. Else. It all plays out when the other players see that. He's fired up, man. That's how to lead the team. He needs to have more of that in him. Celebrate it.
Kirk Cousins with a fuck you attitude takes us.
What did we see the first 6 weeks? They'd make a bad play and Kirk would go over to the sidelines and he'd just kind of do one of these things and he'd put a baseball hat on.
And he'd be on this end of the bench when everybody else was over on this side.
Yeah. He'd be sitting by himself, just kind of sulking or whatever. And then you saw Mike Zimmer just with the
I think on the Thielen pick.
But Zimmer looks for that. Honestly, Zimmer looks for that.
When he threw the pick went through Thielen's hands and Matt got it, when they came back from commercial, Cousins was right in there with his players talking to him. Like, fuck that. And he didn't. That's what he's got to do.
Yes.
That's what you don't sulk. Yes. That's how you go up to Thielen and say, I probably could have threw it a little better. Yeah, I probably could have, even if it's not his fault, take it on yourself, man. That's how you become a leader.
Yeah.
But the attitude of the defense tonight, I saw guys flying around for each other, laughing. I saw smiles. I haven't seen these smiles out of this team the first month.
I honestly, I don't know that guy's name, number 26. Is it Ben Jones?
No,
is it
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Yeah, exactly. But I love him because he fucking hustles. He's scrappy. It's great to see. And I could honestly talk Vikings football with the three of y'all all fucking night. I fucking love it. I fucking love
the baby horse?
W.
Especially with the baby horse. We've come up on an hour, so we're going to wrap this up.
Freddie, you're never going to know what I do for a living. Just accept
it. Hey, Freddie, I saw something come up and said Freddie, and it said 11-5.
Yes.
Freddie?
That's what he's calling.
It's not going to happen, Freddie.
You're tipping a few, Fred.
3 in a row. Skull Vikings.
Last
I
words.
like the 3 in a row.
Flip.
Oh, I'm going first?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what? Win the next one. God, I got to stop drinking. Win the next one.
It's not fun to stop.
I got a little bit of purple on. Win the next game, and then y'all are about to see the true flip. Like this whole flip saves it for winning record 500 type shit, and we haven't been that since 0-0. So win the next game, and then let's roll. Let's see it. But we got to win the next game. Skull Vikes.
Ted.
This is not the team that started the season. They have done, in a lot of respects, a complete 180. They're emotional. They're, like Drew said and Flip said and Dave said, they're flying around. They're playing for each other. They're making plays when they need to make plays, both on both sides of the ball. Granted, the competition hasn't been the best the NFL has to offer, but you got to win the games you can win. They've got an opportunity to keep on a roll, and we'll see what happens. I'm not saying the P word, but I really prefer cheering and watching this kind of football team than what we saw the first 6 weeks of the season. We'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, fuck tanking. We wait all season to watch the Vikings. We don't want to see them tank. We want to see them win. And I'm gonna give my 30 seconds out to Freddie Hall, because you know what? Freddie Hall's here every week, win or lose. He's always on this.
Yeah, he is.
Where's Freddie?
Definitely.
Freddie. Hey, Freddie. If we go 11-5, baby, I'm gonna send you this Michael Bennett signed mini helmet.
Didn't Michael Bennett go to prison?
Why do I not get that?
Because you didn't say we were going to be 11-5. This is now the 11-5
Wisconsin
Michael
Badger
Bennett signed
Pull
helmet.
straight from the
He's no Robert
Just straight
Smith.
for the bottle. Just straight for the bottle. There we go.
If we go 11-5, I'll send this to Freddie Hall. So that's I'm donating my helmet to. I would like to see 11-5. I think that would be a miracle. That'd be well worth Michael Bennett's prison helmet.
He wouldn't even win the division. Okay, true. I don't want to end on a negative night. On a negative note, I'm just gonna.
Hey, Dave, what do you have to say about the game?
Hey, I thought it was great. They came out with attitude. They even with the weird stuff that happened all night long in Soldier Field, they pulled this one out. They played their hearts out. I can take it. We go into next week, which is Dallas. But I do have a question for the viewers. Right now, we do the pregame show and we tape record it in advance. Would you like to see the pregame show live?
Oh, hell yeah. Let's go, baby. Yeah.
Sunday morning?
Well,
no, do it on Thursday.
No.
Who cares?
We could do it like Friday night or Saturday or Thursday night or something like that. And do it
so
live.
many options.
Let's do it.
And do it.
I don't care what the fans have to say. Let's the part-time co-host says let's do it. Let's roll.
Ted, you don't even show up for all of these.
I'm committing for everybody. That's what I'm here for.
Whoa. Well, with that, we're going to say goodnight and enjoy your victory week. And as always, Vikings win, Vikings win.
We got love all you, these Vikings. Listeners. Why are we saying goodbye? Hunter Hillenmeyer, you can suck it tonight.
You too, Nagy. Sorry ass bitch. We won.
4-5, motherfucker.
Got the best of you. Zimmer outcoached you, Nagy.
We'll catch you guys later in the week.
Later, guys.
Thank you for watching or listening. As always, if you like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. And if you're listening to the podcast, please rate us on your favorite aggregator. Skol, everybody.